菲律宾伙同域外国家大搞军事演习，引入和部署。
Magandang araw mga ka-aerial defense, may ibabahagi na naman ako sa inyo. Dahil ngayong araw na ito ay may pag-uusapan tayo tungkol sa depensa, China nagalit sa military drills ng Pilipinas at Amerika. Pero bago tayo magpatuloy, huwag mo muna kalimutan mag-like, share and subscribe. Manatiling nakatutok sa aming channel para updated ka sa balitang militar at West Philippine Sea, sinabi ni Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Guo Jiaquan, noong Lunes na ang internasyonal na komunidad ay kasalukuyang nahaharap sa epekto ng unilateralism, protectionism, at hegemonic bullying. Ang Pilipinas, kasama ang mga bansa sa labas ng Asia, ay magsasagawa ng malakihang pagsasanay militar, nagpapakilala at nagpapatupad ng mga estratehiko at tactical na armas. Pinapahina ang estratehikong katatagan ng rehiyon, sabi ni Guo.
国际社会面临单边主义、保护主义、霸凌霸权的冲击，本地区国家迫切希望加强团结协作，共护地区稳定，携手应对挑战。在这一大背景下，菲律宾伙同域外国家大搞军事演习，引入和部署战略战术武器。 破坏地区战略稳定，破坏本地区经济增长前景，公然站在地区国家的对立面，已经遭到地区国家的强烈反感和反对。台湾问题纯属中国内政，是中国核心利益中的核心。中方坚决反对任何国家以台湾问题为借口，强化地区军事部署，挑动紧张对抗。 破坏地区和平稳定，奉劝有关方面不要在台湾问题上挑衅，玩火者必自焚。
Sinimulan na ng Pilipinas at Estados Unidos ang kanilang pinakamalaking pagsasanay sa militar noong Lunes, upang magsagawa sa unang pagkakataon ng isang full battle test, kung saan ang mga kakayahan ng parehong puwersa ay susukatin sa maraming senaryo. Ang mga pagsasanay ay dumating habang ang mga regional na tensyon ay tumitindi sa Asia dahil sa mga aktibidad ng China sa South China Sea at sa paligid ng Taiwan, nakalapit ng Pilipinas. Ang taunang balikatan o shoulder-to-shoulder drills, na tatagal hanggang ika-9 ng Mayo, ay magsasangkot ng mahigit 17,000 tropang Pilipino at Amerikano na gayahin ang mga kunwaring invasion sa mga isla na sinasakop ng kalaban sa mga lugar na nakaharap sa Taiwan at South China Sea, bilang bahagi ng isang rehearsal ng isang plano sa pagtatanggol na matagal nang ginawa, 19 na bansa, kabilang ang Australia at Japan, ang makikibahagi bilang mga tagamasid sa pagsasanay. Ang China sa mga nakalipas na taon ay pinaigting ang pagiging agresibo nito sa South China Sea, na halos buong-buo nitong inaangkin, at sa paligid ng Taiwan, na planong sakupin sa pamamagitan ng puwersa.
Very exciting to be with you all. As someone who's participated in a number of Balikatans over the course of this, our 40th iteration, I want to thank everyone for being here for the opening ceremony. And I particularly want to thank General Romeo Bronner for your leadership and support, for the exercise directors, for those of you that are not involved in the planning of an exercise of this magnitude. We don't merely stand shoulder to shoulder. We will train shoulder to shoulder so that we are prepared to operate shoulder to shoulder, and if called upon, to fight shoulder to shoulder. It is our desire that that is never required.
At the heart of Balikatan lies not only the strength of our alliance, but also the determination to enhance our collective ability to defend our respective national interests. Together, we will continue to provide vital assistance to communities across the Philippines.
I was fortunate to have joined the first iteration of the Balikatan in 1991. I was then a second lieutenant with the 7th Infantry Division based in Fort Magsaysay. And then later on, as a captain and company commander of the 6th Special Forces Company, I was again fortunate to have had the opportunity to train with our counterparts from the United States Special Forces. Over the decades, it has adeptly responded to evolving threats, expanding its scope and enhancing its significance, demonstrating that true partnerships not only endure, but continuously thrive and excel. In this historic year, Balikatan 2025 unites thousands of Filipinos and American service members. As mentioned by General Glynn, more than 14,000 of these soldiers will be joining together in exercise.
It is an honor to stand with you today as we launch Exercise Balikatan 2025. Today, as we gather amid an ever-evolving security landscape, this 40th iteration of Balikatan reflects our ability to adapt and innovate.
It is indeed a great honor to join the men and women of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command in the opening ceremony for the 40th iteration of Balikatan. This year's Balikatan was preceded, among others, by the visit of Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, the first cabinet official of President Trump's administration to visit the Philippines. Secretary Teodoro and Secretary Hegseth have also committed to setting a robust agenda for both our defense departments.
Ayon naman sa isang security analyst na si Chester Cabalza, ang Balikatan Full Battle Test ay dapat holistic at isama ang cyber domain.
Right. The mere fact that the theme for this year's Balikatan exercises would be the full battle. That means that they will rehearse all the strategy, doctrines, and of course some other plans that they have. And I think when you do when you exercise these plans, it should be holistic. Remember, I mentioned the 5 military domains there, and one of which is cybersecurity. And of course, we've seen intensive support and cooperation coming from the United States. But we have to remember that China is also is advancing its own stake also when it comes to cybersecurity. Remember, a good example would be the competition of the electronic vehicles, because these are robotics. These are you see artificial intelligence also there, and the cognitive domain, because those when we talk about cyber defense domain, it's very expansive and comprehensive. And I think those are some of the frontiers that we have to discover. And if the government plans to invest so much on the cyber domain, and then definitely we will have to have a strong cyber, we need to have a strong R&D, research and development. And that's the key when we talk about self-reliant defense posture here, because it's not only the investments coming from local investors, given that we have the 60-40, but more importantly, the role of the think tanks and the academia, where research and development would be very important. I think these are some of the loopholes that I'm seeing when it comes to looking at our defense and security sector, because of course, when we talk about R&D, these are very important for any country to aspire for military deterrence. And I think that is something that we have to consider also, given that of course, even if you have a long list of defense cooperation, cyber defense cooperation, if you don't have a strong indigenous local research and development, then we don't see any sustainability at all. The sustainment would be the problem there. So I guess these are some of the recommendations that we are seeing right now, particularly that cyber war and of course cognitive warfare are present now.
Para sa mas madaming update tungkol sa ating depensa, paki-follow at like muna ng aming page na nasa description na ang link. Huwag mo na rin kalimutan mag-like, share and subscribe. Pindutin mo na rin ang bell para updated kayo sa aking mga bagong video. Maraming salamat po.